Welcome to This Week in Washington for Friday, November the 2nd, 2012. There was certainly nothing ordinary about this last week in Washington, since we, as well as other people in the country, were affected by the storm called Sandy that passed very close to us before doing so much damage further north, especially in New Jersey. All of our board members in this region and this part of the country have checked in and appear to be doing okay, and we're very glad that they were spared personally the significant damage that many received by these weather events. But I do know that everyone who lives in this area is affected because someone they know or someone they work with has been tremendously impacted by this storm. As we learned in Katrina, the impact of the storm and its aftermath are always two different issues. And in the recovery period and the long aftermath is when significant issues arise that cause such consternation and difficulty. This week on our website, you'll find two podcasts that were placed up there by Scott Bogren immediately after the hurricane. One deals with Michael Vieira in New Jersey, and the second one is from Patrick McKinney in West Virginia. In New Jersey, Michael's comments deal with the immediate aftermath of the storm and what community and public transportation people were doing, especially in trying to connect people who needed that important dialysis service right away to where they could receive treatment. Patrick's situation is a little bit different because the storm spawned a tremendous snowstorm in West Virginia, isolating all kinds of smaller communities, especially in rural areas, that community and public transit tries to serve every day. In both these situations, we are reminded of the familiar things that we have seen in community and public transportation throughout its history. Whether it's a disaster of natural or even man-made design, community and public transit are always there, trying to be responsive, picking up the pieces for others, without often giving any regard to their own difficulties. This storm has the benefit, I think, of the continued commitment of people that make community and public transportation special. These are the people who always put their riders first and their services above their own needs. We are always impressed by the fine work that's done in our industry every day. But these kind of events remind us that we are very privileged to have so many special people involved in providing transportation. I hope that some of the provisions that were enacted in MAP 21 may be of some use to our members and their communities in the days and weeks ahead. As you know, we made it a priority following Hurricane Katrina to try to enact various pieces of legislation in transportation that would be able to provide help directly from DOT sources as opposed to relying only on FEMA for transportation in the immediate aftermath of the storm. We're not sure how these might be used yet in the developing issues coming out of the storm-damaged areas and communities, but it's good to know that that flexibility will be available to policymakers if they need it. The other thing that is very powerful in this event is the strong bipartisan support that was emerging for helping people in the immediate aftermath of the disaster. I don't think that anything better illustrates that than the cooperative effort and communication that we all saw taking place between President Obama in the midst of his re-election campaign and Governor Christie in New Jersey, spokesperson for Governor Romney and his campaign. These are the ideas and values that Americans hold especially important at a time like this. And I only hope that we'll be able to see some continuation of this all throughout the period that lies ahead to help people in these communities that are affected to rebuild. As you may remember, before our last board meeting, I had just come from visiting many of our members in New Jersey. Nothing can be sadder than seeing pictures of the communities that I recently visited, showing such devastation and loss. It's hard to imagine, having just been there, what kind of difficulties our people and the people they serve face. Our association has always been supportive of its members, and will be supportive of our members in this situation as well. We'll be doing all that we can to help out, and we're only going to be an email or a website away for people who have needs, and I hope that we'll be able to respond to them in a positive way, either with technical assistance or even financial assistance in the form of loans till they get on their feet and get back to business as usual. So, this week in Washington has been different. This is also the last weekend before the presidential election. The election has significant issues in it and significant choices to be made. After the election, we'll have information about the outcome and what we need to be doing to educate the people who will be coming to Washington for the first time and those that will be returning. We will have to make our case all over again about the value of community and public transit. Except in this case, we will have a close-in example of the important work that our services provide in times of great stress and difficulty. I think it's important to remember, though, that what we do in bad times, or as President Reagan used to say, even in good times, is reflected by what we do every day. And we're very pleased that community and public transportation people are doing the same kind of things every day in a normal way that people think is exceptional in a time of crisis. So our best wishes to all of you and to our members who were directly affected by this storm. We're going to be here to help, and I hope that all of you will take advantage of the opportunity afforded us next week to cast your vote in an election that will be very important to the future of community and public transportation. Have a great weekend. Thanks, and I'll be in touch soon. Goodbye for now.